Know how that ended. Know how that ended. Don't
Not
do that
answering any calls.
Yeah, not enough security.
We think any NFL team at this point still has interest in AB.
Absolutely. I think all of these issues, as sensational as they are, how they rile up the fan bases and makes everybody say, no way is AB going to be in the league. All these issues you should put in one bucket, and that bucket has a hole in it. Because all this goes away if AB does two things before a team can show interest. One, he gets clinical help, and that is actually publicized. Like, everyone knows AB's under therapy. Two, he does a social media cleanse, because you're not going to take away his ability to play. Enema.
Social media.
Oh, boy, Pop Warner, bro. I was 2 pounds overweight every Friday night. But you got to give him a social media enema. And once you give him that, a team is going to sit there and say, look, in the eye of the storm, it looked impossible for him to get an opportunity. But this too shall pass. So right now is not the moment to measure this. This is all on AB to do those two things, and he will be in the league.
Teams will have interest. They won't act on that interest. He is self-destructing. He's sabotaging himself. And when I read this, I don't know if this is him. I played with Glenn Holt. Glenn Holt, was my homie. Like, we played together in Cincinnati. He went on to coach at Kentucky. And I don't know if this is him or not, but he's so mild-mannered. I know he grew up in Miami. I'm hoping with him being around AB, he can talk some sense into him. But will a team show interest? They'll show interest. There's no way they're going to act on that interest because of the way he's conducted himself since he's been out of the league. Like, he keeps sabotaging himself, putting things on social media. And now this, it's like when you think it's over, it's something else. Okay, that can't get any. Oh, it's something else. And whether the help is going to help him, you just can't chance this as a team and say, we're going to bring him in, because if it implodes, all the warning signs were there.
Glenn Holt, by the way, is the trainer who's been arrested, been working with AB, former teammate of TJ's, we think.
And I agree. I think there will be continued interest and paying attention to AB and what his possible trajectory could be at this moment. It's interesting. A name that came to mind for me was Lawrence Phillips. If you know Lawrence Phillips, was one of the greatest tailbacks to play, went to Nebraska, got drafted. Within the 2 years that he was with the Rams, he spent 23 days total in jail, all right? Still went to another team, all right? Continued to get into trouble, still made it on to another team.
Different day and age, though, now.
It is a different day and
climate.
age. It is a different day and age.
He wasn't a Hall of Famer either.
But with that being said, that does not mean it being a different day and age that the brain trust of these teams are thinking the way social media is thinking. They're still thinking in the ways that they're thinking as a franchise.
I'm going to say why the different day and age is a hell of a point, but we also have to remember, as much as I criticize AB, I want to be fair. Lawrence Phillips was domestic violence, nearly killed a woman in college.
And it's still got a chance.
No, I know. It's on a whole different level than AB.
Yes.
And so I get the analogy. I think it's an appropriate one, because although
that's the extreme.
Yeah, the extreme level is where we went with. And AB's behavior is like, wow, he's going to hurt himself or hurt someone. And now we have a moving truck guy who's been hurt by AB. And look, violence, when you're in this spiral that he's in, man, woman, or child can get it. And AB is out of control. And I think that there's 32 NFL teams. I think 30 to 31 of them have put him on a no-fly zone.
No contact list.
No contact list. He's done. Maybe there is one team. I don't know who it is, but I think for the overwhelming majority of teams, and it's for the reason TJ said, is because he may go get help. He may do a social media cleanse. But I think most teams are like, he's a ticking time bomb.
But football doesn't have that heart. No matter what age, what culture we're living in, football still has a laser focus on ability. That's why we talked about other people getting second, third, fourth chances with worse indiscretions than AB. AB has a lot of accusations and a lot of craziness, which can all be fixed if you package it in someone who's been rehabilitated and comes out and shows you a different way. So does he have more catches than issues? Yes. Does he have more touchdowns than issues? Yes. Is he still a Hall of Famer?
I disagree.
Okay, let's hear it.
No. Again, I can't list you a laundry list but his issues are so severe, they trump the catches, the yards.
What, clown and craft? No, his issues are, but how they're being demonstrated, you clown and craft. You got into an issue.
You're holed up in your house right now, avoiding the police. That's some bizarre behavior.
Bizarre. Now,
is it
in that
illegal?
defense, if they really want, if it was really a
They
problem,
go in.
They go in
Thank you.
there.
They're not going in because they don't have enough.
Yeah.
No. I based on what I read, it's like, again, this is a high-profile individual who the police know is unstable. Again, I don't want to make this comparison, but again, when someone holds themselves up in their house and avoids the police, they're a dangerous person. And so, do you force your way in and set off more danger? Just think of all the news stories we've heard.
I love you, man. That means he knows his rights, and he's like, if you want me, you come get me because you have the right to come get me. The reason you're not, you took away my boy. You took him away because you had something on him. You have nothing on me. You may be trying to investigate to further your cause, but in this moment, AB is just sitting there rightfully as a homeowner saying, if you want me, arrest me.
You know, to go back onto the football field.
Hold for 1 second, LaVar.
Yeah.
Again, if we go look into the history, there's been a lot of people standing on that right. I'm in my home. You can't come get me. I've done nothing wrong. And major news stories and documentaries about how those things have spilled out of control. Again, I would imagine, I would imagine AB's a gun owner. There's a lot of reasons for the police to be careful how they approach someone who comes off this unstable. Caution here, particularly how high profile he is. Caution here is the better part of
police force has just discontinued their connection with him last week. Is now sitting there saying, oh, we ain't going to come in there and get AB. He did something wrong.
For those very reasons, because, again, the potential lawsuit, you went overboard with AB because you don't like him. You just distanced yourself from him because you don't like him. There's a lot of reasons for the police to be, he's holed up in his house. He can't hurt anybody. He got to come out of some point.
Obey the law before a lawsuit. Law comes before a lawsuit. You need to do the law and do what you're supposed to enforce. I don't think they just can't enforce it, but.
Two other things that I think could help him get back into the league. One, we didn't bring up. He could go to the CFL and show that he can manage his expectations, his emotions.
Where?
Hold on.
0% chance. Sorry, go ahead.
It's possible. Like, this is
CFL or XFL.
This is a possibility for him to prove that he's getting another opportunity. All right. The second would be to do a negotiation where it's based upon your performance and your behavior.
Oh, you mean what New England did?
I'm about to say, we've seen that wrong. We've heard that song. Nobody danced.
A minimum deal easily disposed of.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.